from the coaches change. And I'm telling you right now, Kelly Christoph stated when she first got here, she wanted Indiana Fever to be like Apple. We all remember her saying this, right? We all remember her saying that she wanted to be like Apple. Well, she's kind of getting it that way, but the only thing about it is Apple had multiple things. Apple got the iPhone, the iMac, the tablet, but one thing Apple never does is take down one of their own accessories to big up a next one. So Apple won't back.
An internal assessment conducted by the Indiana Fever has exposed important concerns regarding the team's fundamental approach and future planning. The findings strongly suggest that commercial interests may be taking precedence over athletic performance considerations in organizational decision-making processes. The extensive fan engagement study uncovered notable trends in supporter dedication and involvement. Research data demonstrated that an overwhelming portion of participants cited Caitlin Clark's possible exit as the main element that would affect their ongoing franchise allegiance. This reliance establishes both advantages and risks for the organization's future strategic development. Examination of the assessment methodology and outcomes indicates that leadership aimed to separate long-standing franchise followers from those mainly drawn by Clark's influence.
So Apple won't bag on the iPhone to big up the iMac. Apple won't bag on the iMac to big up the tablet or the AirPods. Apple let each individual accessory have their level to shine. And that, my friend, is why Apple is so dominant until today, and pretty much every other major company. They never ish on another accessory or anything else on their team. Stephanie White, Kelly Cristobal, they're looking real spooky because they're ishing.
This categorization constitutes a vital commercial intelligence collection process that may shape upcoming strategic choices and resource distribution priorities. The study additionally investigated supporter views regarding the organization's capacity to achieve national prominence. Inquiries about transforming into America's WNBA team demonstrated ambitious expansion goals that surpass local market boundaries. These objectives correspond with wider league growth initiatives and income maximization approaches. Analysis from seasoned experts has emphasized similarities between this circumstance and other notable athlete movements in college and professional athletics. Past examples indicate that supporter devotion frequently follows individual performers instead of institutional identities, especially when those players represent revolutionary abilities.
Looking real spooky because they're ishing on Caitlin, bro. It's clear as day. They don't like Caitlin. They don't like her style of play. They don't like anything about it. They want her to be stuck in this damn motion offense. Now, one thing I would say is they better hope Caitlin Clark don't have that much fun during the All-Star game with Sandy Barlatello, because I'm telling you right now, fans is already petitioning damn near for Caitlin Clark to head to New York. And I'm telling you right now, if Caitlin could get out of this deal in Indiana, it will break
the commercial framework consequences of these assessment discoveries cannot be minimized. The organization seems to be trying to utilize Clark's appeal to establish lasting fan involvement that continues past her individual career. Nevertheless, this method involves considerable dangers if the main attraction element becomes dissatisfied with organizational leadership. Kelly Krauskopf's expressed goal to pattern the franchise after Apple's commercial strategy offers insight for comprehending current organizational planning. The technology corporation's achievement derives from generating multiple income sources and product categories that support rather than conflict with each other. However, detractors contend that the Indiana application fails to implement this concept successfully.
New York, and I'm telling you right now, if Caitlin could get out of this deal in Indiana, it will break the damn internet. She will then have saved her legacy if she can get out of here. Now, I'm not saying Indiana's in a bad way, but as of right now, it's looking real damn spooky. Now, something that the Indiana Fever did has resurfaced. Let's pull it up right now. Now, man, I've been one of the people telling y'all, bro. I told y'all, when it comes to Caitlin Clark, you got to watch everything like a Hulk. I mean, you got to.
The analogy exposes basic differences in methodology and implementation. Apple's prosperity involves enhancing all products within their system rather than reducing certain components to emphasize others. The present Indiana approach seems to generate internal rivalry instead of cooperative improvement of all organizational resources. Market examination indicates that Clark's potential availability might generate substantial interest from other franchises, especially those in larger urban regions. New York's market scale and current roster makeup make them a commonly mentioned location for theoretical trade situations.
I mean, you got to watch everything like a Hulk. Because the Indiana Fever fans, we're not Indiana Fever fans. I'm going to just say it. The Caitlin Clark fans. Look, it's two type of fans. You got the Indiana Fever fans and you got the CC fan domanium. A lot of people is part of the CC fan domanium. You will see the Indiana Fever fans out there, but a lot of people, it's the CC fan domanium.
Such speculation generates additional pressure on Indiana to enhance their present circumstances. The coaching methodology and system compatibility concerns add another dimension of complexity to these commercial considerations. Organizations usually achieve best outcomes when personnel choices correspond with strategic execution rather than generating internal disputes between individual abilities and systematic methods. Supporter experience standards have also faced examination as indicators of organizational priorities. Premium seating options and concession strategies reflect wider philosophies about customer service and value offerings.
And this, my friends, has been resurfaced. It's starting to look like this entire franchise is moving based off the results of this survey. Now I wonder what y'all thinking. What y'all thinking about this survey right here? So this is a survey that the Indiana Fever did this season. Well, before the season. It stated, is there anything that would impact your Fever fandom, right?
These operational aspects often expose underlying perspectives about supporter relationships.
Anything that would impact your Fever fandom, right? Everybody click this box. Caitlin Clark leaves the team. Loss of a star player, consistent poor performance, changes in team. Nobody clicked this. Everybody clicked if Caitlin Clark was to leave the damn team. You know what? We're going quick, fast, and a hurry, bruh. Caitlin Clark leave. We leave, player. This is CC Fandomanium. Now, this is the other half of this survey. It stated,
the organization must balance short-term revenue creation with sustainable success-building strategies that preserve both fan engagement and competitive excellence over extended timeframes. The assessment data seems to validate that current organizational direction emphasizes business expansion over basketball enhancement. This method reflects common difficulties facing franchises when managing transformational abilities who create unprecedented attention and revenue possibilities. Industry watchers have observed similar trends in other professional sports situations where individual athletes generate substantial organizational worth. The challenge involves capturing and maintaining that worth while preserving the core competitive mission that ultimately determines long-term achievement and relevance.
This survey is stated, to what extent do you agree with the statement? The Indiana Fever has the potential to become America's WNBA team. Please select one. Strongly disagree, somewhat disagree, neither agree, somewhat agree, strongly agree. Now, shout out to CCAKG because, man, she been cooking today. She been cooking today, bro. It stated, the priorities of the front office this year have been to maximize the business opportunities that have come from having.
The timing of these disclosures coincides with growing speculation about potential roster modifications and strategic changes. Front office decision makers face increasing pressure to show that business achievement and basketball excellence can coexist within their current structure. Public perception management constitutes another essential element of this developing situation. The organization must navigate between maximizing current possibilities and maintaining credibility with diverse stakeholder groups who may have conflicting priorities and expectations. The assessment outcomes suggest that organizational leadership may have underestimated the extent of fan connection to individual performers versus institutional loyalty.
That's basically what she has said, and I just think in general that is not what the Fever need. That is not what the Fever need at all. Like, they don't need a coach that's going to want to slow them down because, again, the Fever don't want the personnel to win a championship. They're not going to win. Let's be honest here, they're not going to win. They can at least be fun. Like, if the Fever are going to be a 500 team, at least be a fun 500 team like last year, and not the worst possible version of the Connecticut Sun.
This error could have significant consequences for future planning and strategic implementation across multiple organizational levels. Revenue diversification initiatives seem to focus on capturing worth from Clark's popularity while building independent income channels. However, the sustainability of this method depends heavily on maintaining the primary attraction factor while successfully developing complementary revenue sources. The wider consequences extend to league-wide discussions about franchise evaluation, player compensation, and competitive balance. The Indiana situation serves as a case example for how organizations should manage transformational abilities while building sustainable competitive and business frameworks.
The worst possible version of the Connecticut Sun, whose tactic is to drag teams down to their level. I've never seen anything like it before. The Fever's tactic is you have the most exciting player, the most dynamic guard in the league, and you want her to be Ty Harris from last year. I don't even know how to describe it, but take a read of this article from Robin Lundberg. Caitlin Clark, Stephanie White can't have Fever friction over Indiana offense. So, obviously, let's go back to May 24th when they lost to Liberty, where Clark had
Market forces suggest that resolution of these tensions will likely determine both the franchise's immediate path and its long-term viability as a premier destination for elite talent. The organization faces mounting pressure to align business objectives with basketball excellence in ways that satisfy diverse stakeholder expectations. Examination of recent conversations and public declarations reveals substantial tension concerning Caitlin Clark's altered position within Indiana's offensive structure. Her remarks show clear dissatisfaction with strategic choices that restrict her natural abilities and primary skill areas. Clark's public reactions to questions about playing off-ball positions contain subtle but direct criticism of coaching choices.
Obviously, let's go back to May 24th when they lost to Liberty, where Clark had her first injury, but it was the pre-game media availability that laid the groundwork for the injury debate on how Caitlin Clark's using the offense. When discussing how the Fever could improve to that point earlier in the season, Caitlin Plainey said, "I think we need to do a better job of getting me the ball in transition, whether somebody is there or not. I think it's a fine balance to me playing off the ball, but getting the ball in my hands, that's what I'm at my best in transition." Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that except Stephanie White. We say everybody, not her coach. Shortly thereafter, I asked why how the team finds balance. Caitlin referenced,
when questioned about reducing ball handling duties, she acknowledges potential advantages while highlighting her core strengths. Her repeated declarations about what she excels at suggest opposition to role changes. Media conversations following recent contests show Clark taking indirect criticism at coaching philosophy through remarks about forcing tempo and refusing to accept slower rhythms. These declarations indicate disagreement with strategic direction while maintaining professional limits in public discussion. The organizational method treats Clark as replaceable with traditional off-ball guards rather than acknowledging her unique skill combination.
It's one thing the Fever coach emphasized how Clark would be able to get open looks. She sets great screens. Something that happened off the ball. Caitlin's a player right now and is the most talented around that she's ever had. And our job as coach is that we figure out how to put us in position to be the best team that we can be. Like, that's clearly a that's clearly her saying, nah, Caitlin's playing off the ball. We got better players. And like, even the Natasha Howard
This philosophy mirrors teams that would request elite players to abandon their greatest abilities due to defensive pressure rather than constructing systems to maximize those talents. Robin Lundberg's coverage from May 24th emphasizes early conflict points between Clark and coaching personnel regarding transition possibilities. Clark's remarks about needing better ball delivery in transition situations show awareness of underutilized abilities within current systems. White's reactions to similar questions expose philosophical differences about roster development and player hierarchy. Her emphasis on having the most talent around Clark suggests intent to distribute offensive duties rather than centralizing them around their most dynamic player.
Natasha Howard interview, and it's like, Caitlin needs to know that she's got better players around her. She doesn't have to do it all herself. And it's like, man, she's doing nothing herself. She's doing nothing herself. Like, but when referenced the Pacers style as a blue, White then referenced the Pacers style in regards to buying into we over me. She specifically pointed out Tyrese Halliburton getting his teammates involved early can be a lesson for Clark in saying that great teams are going to take that strength away if they rely too heavily on the
The coaching personnel's references to Tyrese Halliburton's adaptation to team-first methods miss fundamental differences in player types and skill sets. Halliburton's achievement in modified positions doesn't translate directly to Clark's situation given their different strengths and playing approaches. White's remarks about great teams neutralizing overdependence on star players reflect misunderstanding of elite player utilization. Rather than constructing systems to protect and enhance star talents, the organization chooses to minimize those advantages preemptively. Clark's visible dissatisfaction emerges clearly in conversations about backcourt combinations and ball handling duties.
If they rely too heavily on the star guard's generational talent. Well, then you don't take it away. You're like, you know what? If we rely too heavily, teams are going to take it away. So what are we going to do? We're going to take it away. We're not going to let the other team take away her talent because we're going to take it away. Like, that's basically what she said. Like, she's sticking. She's like, oh yeah, I like having Caitlin off the ball. Clark has a similar question about the potential backcourt pairing at practice.
Her body language and tone suggest genuine displeasure with strategic directions while attempting to maintain professional composure during media responsibilities. Her declaration about being best at bringing the ball up court represents direct opposition of coaching philosophy. This public disagreement indicates deeper philosophical disputes about optimal player utilization and system development. The comparison to elite players facing similar situations illustrates the unusual nature of Indiana's method. Historical examples of teams requesting Magic Johnson, LeBron James, or Luka Doncic to minimize their primary skills demonstrate the counterproductive nature of such strategies.
Asked him a question about the potential backcourt pairing at practice. She parroted. And, like, this is genuinely... She's pissed. She is pissed. Like, there's no way back. She's not even... Like, this is Caitlin Clark. She's not very good at controlling her emotions in a lot of situations. She's pissed.
Steph has talked about kind of taking some pressure off you with Aerie kind of running point and some actions and you playing off the ball. Just how do you think that will help when you reintegrate onto the court?
Yeah, I mean... It'll be nice probably not to have to bring the ball up against pressure 94 feet. But like I said, like, that's what I'm best at.
Clark's remarks about potentially playing off-ball during timeouts but maintaining natural positions during live action suggest attempted compromise positions. However, actual game implementation shows more extensive off-ball usage than her public statements anticipated. The screening emphasis in coaching directives represents fundamental misunderstanding of Clark's value proposition. Requesting generational playmakers to focus on screening duties parallels historical mistakes where teams underutilized elite talents for role player functions. White's apparent satisfaction with Clark's off-ball development conflicts with observable performance metrics and fan entertainment worth.
4 feet, but like I said, like, that's what I'm best at. So we're still going to do a lot of that.
They didn't. That's the problem. When the going got tough, when they did that, she won. They were winning. It's like, that's, sometimes it can be nice not taking the ball up at 94 feet, but I mean, that's what I'm best at. It's like telling Steph Curry the teams are guarding the three-point shot, so stop taking them. It's like saying Shaq. It's like the Lakers. Imagine the 2000 Lakers literally saying this. Shaq draws double teams. So it's going to be hard for Shaq. So we're going to stop giving the ball.
The coaching personnel's priorities seem disconnected from maximizing team achievement and individual player strengths. Clark's shooting limitations when moving right off screens highlight tactical mismatches within current systems. Forcing players into uncomfortable situations rather than emphasizing their strengths demonstrates poor strategic planning and player development. The gravity argument for off-ball usage fails when examined practically. Clark's off-ball presence doesn't create significant advantages for teammates, while removing her primary playmaking eliminates her most valuable contribution to team achievement.